Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be talking about my 2018 reading resolutions. So it's that time of year where everybody decides to make a resolution to better themselves. I haven't been making any resolutions for years now. I know who I am and I know what's going to change and what's not. And so the only resolutions I could think of that I actually would want to keep are reading resolutions. So I decided I'm going to put together a list of 5 reading resolutions that I can keep this year. My first resolution is one that I actually have been doing for the last few years, even if I haven't classified it as a resolution, and that is to go on my Goodreads and make a Goodreads challenge to read 100 books. This is one I have been able to do every year so far, and I am thrilled to be able to continue it. 100 books seems to be a very good limit for me. Sometimes I just meet that limit, sometimes I go above and beyond, but it is something that does not push me too far, but it does push me enough to keep reading when I might not want to sometimes, because every so often I get a little bit burnt out, but it keeps me in the habit of reading. My second resolution for 2018 is to actually read one Star Trek book every month. So some people might know and some people might not, but I am a very avid Star Trek fan, especially the original series Star Trek, so with Kirk and Spock, William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy respectively, and I fell in love with the series, the old movies, and even the newer movies. And so I have been collecting the Star Trek books that came out around the 60s, 70s, 80s, and I have read some of them. However, I've gotten to the habit of just collecting them, seeing them, wanting them, purchasing them, and then putting them on my shelf and not reading them. So I want to resolve to read one a month, so hopefully I can at least say that I have read 12 more of those Star Trek books than I have before. My third reading resolution for this year is to finish reading at least 5 series that I have already started. One of my favorite things to read are series books. I love being able to read about worlds and characters, and if I really love them, I want to be able to experience them for a longer period of time, and so I love series. However, I'm also actually really bad about reading the last or second to last book in a series. I get to this point where I never want to leave that world, and I know I can reread, and I usually do, but I get to this point where I don't want it to end, and so I actually have quite a few duologies, trilogies, series where I've read the first few books, but never finished it, and yet most of them I probably have on my shelf. So I want to resolve this year to actually be able to finish some of those series that I have ongoing. My fourth reading resolution for this year is to review all the books that I read on Goodreads or Amazon or anything like that. I have been pretty good about this within the last couple years. However, I have noticed a pattern for myself where near the end of the year, I get lazy. In 2017, I read 100 books that were not rereads. Those were just individual books that I had read. However, I noticed by the end last couple months, October, November, December, somewhere around there, I stopped reviewing. I just read. And reviews really help authors, especially since some of the genres I read are more independently published. And so I need to be better about reviewing those books even when it gets to the end of the year and I get a little bit more lazy about it. So I'm resolving to review every single book I read in 2018. My last resolution for this year is when I am bored, is actually going and picking up my book instead of my phone. I've gotten into the habit of when I don't know what else to do, I finished a book or I finished a TV show I was watching, I pick up my phone and I just sort of go back and forth between apps that I don't really need to do. I sometimes have a hard time committing to a book if it's a new one because I've just finished something else. So this year I really want to resolve to be better about actually going and picking up that book instead of my phone. If you guys have any reading resolutions or even any normal resolutions that you have decided that you really want to attempt this year, please leave me a comment down below so I can see what you're trying to do. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to hit that subscribe button, I will have a video up at least every Monday. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye!